Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
He's absolutely Jason, he's absolutely gay. He'll absolutely brighten up the darkest rainy day. He's funny and loves movies, he's smart and he's a Jew. He's an actor and an activist and wants to hear from you.
Hey everybody, welcome to Absolutely Jason Stuart. Today I have a brand new guest and a brand new friend, Carla, comedian out of Canada, who's now working it here in Los Angeles, and my good friend Langdon from Langdon Nation. This is the first time that I've been on your show many times, and It's the first time you've been on my show, and it's so funny, this has been so hard, because we've both canceled so many times.
Our schedules are so crazy. And we work for the same corporation, darn it. We're both at T-Radio V,
yes.
and we still can't.
We were supposed to be here months ago, right?
Twice. Once was my fault, and then once was your fault, and then once again was my fault. Because for those who don't know and who didn't listen last week, I just got back from Savannah, Georgia. I am playing a slave owner in the new film called Birth of a Nation, directed by Nate Parker and starring Nate and Armie Hammer and Gabrielle Union and Jackie Earle Haley and this gal Asia from How to Get Away with Murder. I forgot her last name. Forgive me, Asia. And so many other wonderful, great actors. It was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had. I'll tell you this little story before we start. I'm sitting in my hotel room, and they said, well, what did you do on your day off? I said, well, I went to the gym, and then I went back to my hotel room and practiced the N-word. And then I went to the movies.
As you do.
And then I went back to the hotel, and I practiced the N-word. And then someone's knocking at the door, and it's a maid who happened to be black. And I went, oh, shit! No, she said, what do you want? I said, what do you want? I said, I'm sorry. She said, I just wanted to give you towels. She said, there's nothing to be sorry about. I said, okay, thanks. Yeah.
I'm sorry for a very long history of horrible treatment.
I'm in a restaurant with my mother and my friend Ernie, and I'm having dinner, and I'm showing them all the pictures of the movie, which I'll show you guys during the break. I can't show everybody at home until the movie comes out, or at least is in released format, whatever they're, when it starts to come out for Oscars in December. And I'm showing my mom the picture. I said, oh, this is Gabrielle Union. This is the one I raped. And this is the girl I raped.
Nice.
No, this one, Ernie.
Wow.
Your mother's never been more proud.
I know. That's she says, oh, I'm so happy for you. That's what she said. And Ernie said, you can't say that. We're in a restaurant.
I might have a daughter-in-law.
In a movie. Yeah, no, she doesn't even think that. She's just too completely in her mind. It was just it was a great experience. It really has. And so I'm researching you guys, and I did not know that you acted. I thought you just did stand-up and radio and all your other stuff and speaking and stuff. And you did this really great episode of Law & Order.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm going to just play that right away. Jake, if you have that episode of Law & Order, this was really wonderful.
We have an exclusive deal with Dada. There was a line around the block when the Vipers came in. We sold out of those puppies in a day.
You recognize her?
Yeah, that's Blair. Boy, she looks pissed.
Is she one of your customers?
She works here. She's in the back. Yo, Blair!
Was Blair working here Tuesday morning?
We don't open till noon.
Now that used to be my part. That used to be my part before I was a slave owner.
What, the token gay guy on Law & Order episodes?
Oh, yeah, well, I'm too old to play gay now. Once you hit 40, you can't be gay anymore.
I love Law & Order, as Langdon very well knows, because I've been co-hosting on his show since January this year. I am such a Law & Order fanatic.
People go crazy
I have
for
an
it.
issue. I have a problem. I can answer any question from any 1990s franchise. I like Criminal Intent. I like Special Victims Unit, SUV.
That's the one I watch now, and I started watching it. And I started watching because everybody's so obsessed with it. And I do like it, I have to say.
It's good, but I like the classic. I can't believe I haven't seen you on there. I thought I had seen every single episode.
You probably didn't. You just didn't know because you didn't know him when it was on.
So
it was 2004.
That was Lenny's last episode.
He's such a
That was the
wonderful
episode
man.
where he retired from the
Who's
show
Lenny?
and he left. Oh, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. The
Jerry
white,
Orbach.
Yeah, Jerry Orbach.
Oh, Jerry Orbach.
Yeah.
That was his last episode, and they were premiering Criminal Intent, and he was going to be guest starring on Criminal Intent just occasionally because he really wanted to start to retire out of the franchise, and he actually got prostate cancer, and he passed away. He was a hero of mine, both from the stage. He did the Fantastics. He was such a great stage actor.
People didn't know what an incredible singer he was.
So amazing, right? Most Americans just kind of know him from Law & Order, playing Lenny. And then, of course...
Because he had the one-liners.
Yeah, he was so good, right? And he had just that shtick, he had Moxie or whatever you want to call it. He had that thing. And
So tell
it was
us,
a joy.
what's the Langdon story? Because I don't know. So you started, obviously, as an actor, right?
I actually started. I wanted to go the long story, but try to make it as short as possible. I wanted to go into acting straight to New York, straight out of high school. And I was the whoops kid, so my parents had already ushered in. My parents were like the age of most people's grandparents, right? So
Wow.
they already
Mine were the
ushered-
young ones. You?
Oof.
And you?
No, they were pretty young. But
My mom was
mom's-
17 when she had her first kid.
Oh, well, no, my mom was 25 or so.
No.
But her mom was 50. Her was
Really?
almost 50 when she had her. She was a big
wow.
whoops French
That was
Canadian,
kind of
the
ours.
last of several Catholic children.
My grandma was 14. They kind of did the opposite.
Jeez,
When my
Louise.
grandma was 14 when she had her first kid.
That's like rape. I'm sorry. Was it Gabriel Union?
in the bayou.
It was different back then.
In the bayou. That was in the, I don't know, the teens and in the bayou. But so I was supposed to just go to medical school like my brother and sister, and they just kind of assumed I was doing everything. And,
You were supposed to go to medical school? That's
Yeah.
so funny.
And
No,
so,
it's not even that because you're so funny. It's not because I know how smart you are, but I just think it's so funny. Medical school. I can't even imagine my parents even saying that to me.
well, hilarious. I went to nursing school actually. So my mom bribed me. They basically, it was, well, you should have already been applying for months. Everyone was getting acceptance letters, and they were like, so where are you going to school? They just kind of thought they should check, and I said, I'm not. I'm going to New York. So my mom freaked out and basically, bribed me.
Were you going to New York
go
also to
school.
be gay?
No,
people
I came
went-
out at 16 already. My
But
poor
still,
family.
people really went to New York to be gay, so you could be really gay and just sort of meet more people. And
Well, I certainly wanted to have unobserved sex. Yes, not witnessed by my mother. I
to be
wanted
more
to-
gay.
so had your mother been watching you have sex before? Was
Yes.
That, yeah. Okay.
She was following me everywhere. Backs of cars and parking lots all throughout South Florida. No, that's horrible.
It's Florida, so I'm completely buying it,
Oh,
FYI.
yeah, because those people are insane.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. On behalf of my people, so many different ways. And actually now they live in Palm Beach, the rest of my family, and it's the county that put the duh in Florida because of the whole missing hanging Chad crap with
Oh,
the 2000
God.
election. I know.
I think
There's
those,
so many places to go to if you want a Florida punchline, though.
I think they're completely insane. Have you ever seen that little thing on the internet where they cut Florida off from the United States?
Yes.
I just love that.
We've used that on the show on Langdon Nation before because we do booze and news segments where we'll just cover really ridiculous headlines that are real, and a special subsegment is Florida.
So just to say
My
also,
people.
Langdon Nation is on when? I don't know when it's on.
We're back to Saturdays now, 2 to 4 p.m. Pacific
2 to
time.
4 Saturday right here on this same dial.
Absolutely. And then actually Friday nights we have our AM radio show. We have Langdon Nation After Dark.
That's
which
the one
is
I did, yeah.
Yes.
Midnights on KCAA AM 1050 in Southern California or kcaaradio.com around the world.
So you were in New York, you started acting, you got Law and Order. You also did Sex in the City.
Yeah, I played a fabulous scene that mostly got cut. You get to see my arm, you get to see my tattoo. I
wouldn't have even brought that part up if I were you. I would have just kept lying and just said I was on the show.
But for you, I have to tell you the truth.
Yeah, but this is a
you
radio-
have the Jewish guilt, I have the Catholic guilt. It's just how it goes. I have to tell you the truth. It was a fabulous sex scene with like a transgender at like a sex club that the girls were going to, and where basically there are sex shows happening all around them. And I got to have, and I was actually
Does
the
that
waiter
really
at the
exist
table.
for straight people? Because I have never been in a sex club with straight people around.
No.
Ever.
I think so. I mean,
Look at
could
her, look
just-
at her, look at her.
Could just be our
I thi-
garage sale.
I
but,
think so.
You know,
Yeah, it could happen.
sure.
She's searching her memory.
Straight people are
actually.
people, too.
Yeah. Could you imagine having a woman or straight people come to a gay sex club? Oh my God. People would like just walk out.
I think
You
it,
think,
or
I go to gay clubs all the time. So
No,
better
honey,
for
you don't-
dancing.
you don't
But
go
I
to
don't know,
that.
gay sex club. But I don't go to a straight sex club. So
You don't go to that kind of club, believe me.
they might try to
you
do
don't know
their
me.
hair or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
that's
You know.
that's
Get
why I'm on.
makeup tips.
That's why I'm on Grinder.
Are you really?
Well, I want to know if I want to have a kiki or makeover. I know where the closest gay is. It's fantastic.
Oh,
For different reasons.
yeah. How wonderful and uncomfortable. So what? So you
is it
started.
uncomfortable?
So you did all this stuff. You did also a couple other things: Family Secrets, Diagnosis. That's not the Dick Van Dyke one. That's another. That's a horror film.
No, it was a series that ran for a couple years on, I think on the Learning Channel, and I played Nurse John. So I got to be the sweet, nurturing, kind person that I am in real life. on the show.
2007 was a big year for you.
That's when I came to LA in 2006, basically for my writing, actually. So I had done a lot of writing, comedy, sketch writing, and that just fell in love with the whole comedy scene, but via sketch, not via any stand-up. I was actually always afraid to do stand-up.
When did you start stand-up?
Not until I came to LA. People said, you're so funny, you need to do it. And for me, it was so scary. But a good friend said, listen, if you're scared of something, do it. And so I just jumped in. I
Well,
worked
that
with
guy's
Jerry
an idiot.
Katzman.
And I say,
I
if you're-
needed more pain
Jason's
in my
harsh.
life. I needed
if
more
you're,
pain.
if
and
you're
torture.
afraid, just don't do it. Stay home. You see these people on award shows, just work really hard, and I watch the Tonys, and all I could think of was, what would I say if I won a Tony? Oh God, this took so long. That's what I would say.
Hey, he's the one who watched the Tonys because they had really low ratings this year.
It
Who
did.
cares?
Like,
Fuck those people, right? Did you watch them?
No, I went to see. Did I go see your show that
Yeah.
night? Yes, I went to go see Langdon's show, so I had a great excuse. So I was Tony adjacent. I was watching Langdon
She was
perform.
very close. And if it counts, she was live tweeting from the audience.
Oh, of course.
I saw her.
I
yeah.
got to see this. So you have a show that is playing at the Fringe Festival right now. Am I correct?
Yes, it's
And
called.
can people see it again? Yes, they can. They can see it on June 12th, 13th, 18th, or 28th. And they can get tickets by going to, this is a hard one because it's small, hff15.org that's too hard.
The easiest
so what I
is
would say,
hollywoodfringe.org or hollywoodfringe.org.
so what I would do is I would
228.
just email, go to Langdon Nation.
Absolutely,
and send-
langdonnation@gmail.com.
and send an email to him, and he'll tell you exactly what to do. And I love this poster.
Isn't it fabulous? It actually won the award for Best Poster for Fringe.
Oh, they have posters.
Yeah, and they actually have a poster award because Fringe is so amazing just for helping new creative stories get out there. A lot of movies or plays that go to Broadway end up coming out of Fringe festivals, and it's just that where one woman shows, one man shows. It's such a creative, amazing space. I love the whole concept behind Fringe. And this is from producer Ursilia Pompilio. Oh my God, I'm going to trash her name. Pompilio. And she is a nurse herself. She's a nurse practitioner. And she did a one-woman show just telling all these crazy stories of how when men that she was dating found out that she was a nurse, they basically would start to just tell her all her medical problems. And it's one of the things that happens to you. I go to a party and people are like, hey, nice
So
to
just
see
wait
you.
a second.
Look at my rash.
Wait. Everybody, so you're not just an actor, a comedian, a radio show personality, but you're also a real nurse, not a fake nurse, not one that you're doing in a show, not one that you play in a TV movie on Fox, a regular nurse.
I'm still a working nurse. I work, I can't say whom I work for the corporation, but I still, mainly now, I don't work at the bedside, but after many years of doing that, I teach. I do disease prevention, disease management. I do support groups and therapy and, weight loss, that kind of thing. It's awesome. I really like it. That's my other life. So where I get
So
to
bizarre. Now, how did Langdon Nation start? Because I remember the first time I did your show, I met you at Gay Pride.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was performing.
You were performing, and I think we were doing the live remote. I was with
Yeah.
Hot Talk, LA at that time. That was the radio station that was born out of the death of 97.1, which was Free Talk, where, oh my goodness, Howard Stern was a big part of that, and of course Adam Carolla was a big part of that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Krista Garner was a big part of that. She's our other lovely co-host on Langdon Nation. So from my stand-up, basically, I just kind of out of nowhere, I was doing a lot of stand-up, doing a lot of hosting, and just meeting a lot of people. So I got pulled on to be just a talking head, which will happen a lot on radio shows. And from there, after making a number of appearances on the Pretty Good Podcast, which was a really popular one with
Oh, yeah, I remember
Gina
that.
Grad and Randy Wang, basically at the end of doing 2 shows back-to-back with them, the owner of the station said, do you want your own show?
And
So of
hold
course I
that,
said
hold
yes.
that thought, and we're going to talk about all the shows that you've done, and certainly more about Langdon Nation and how you met this gal. We'll be back in just a second here with Langdon and Carla Collins, comedian extraordinaire on Absolutely Jason Stewart. Please stay with us. I feel like I'm at an ice skating rink.
If the fish swam out of the ocean and grew legs and they started walking, and the apes climbed down from the tree.
Brad is actually here right now.
I don't have the white disease.
Whoa!
Give me a gift. I want to see some tiny intro. Give me some boom. Give me some boom, bro. This is gonna make us money.
Ask Robert who his favorite celebrity animals are.
His animal lovers.
All right, everybody whip your out. Everybody whip it out. We'll be right back.
See, now it's...
Let's do a couple things. Ready?
Action.
Oh, monsters! Monsters!
You.
Roll it.
Oh, that means me.
It's gonna take the unreal mind.
To be honest with you, I like being down there a little more because my head was...
Candy corn monsters, boom!
Hi, I'm Kristen Renton, and I don't know what I'm saying. This one's World Animal News.
Right, here we go. Oh, I'll just...
Unreal.
It's on a real wall.
I mean, unless you fake it. I had a contest on night calls, and they were all peeing everywhere. Everyone's like, can I get another Diet Coke? Yeah.
We want to do more.
If the fish swam out of the ocean and grew legs and they started walking, and the apes climbed down from...
Hey, we're back at Absolutely Jason Stewart. I'm Jason Stewart. This is Carla Collins. This is Langdon. Now you have a last name, but do you use it?
Basarge, yeah.
Do you use it? Okay, because I always think of you as just Langdon, like Cher.
Oh, I think I'll drop it. I like that.
Just Langdon.
Just like
Madonna.
that? Yeah, Madonna.
Just like that. You've convinced me.
Barbara.
You're my life coach, after all.
Keisha. Barbara.
Shaniqua.
You know.
Rihanna.
Arnold. So, you came here when from Canada? Because you're a big deal in Canada.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was. I came here at the end of 2007.
What,
So-
is it because you married this hot, beautiful man?
I think it's because I really was blessed in Canada. I kind of did everything that you could possibly do. I'd been on all the shows, and I always wanted to come here. I'm also
Including
a bit of a gypsy.
X-Men. Including X-Men, you were great on that show.
Thank
Can
you.
I tell you can I say who you're married to?
Yes, of course.
Tyrone Power Jr.
Yes.
And it was so funny because I do have the Harrell picture of his dad and Loretta Young in my dining room. I've had it in my house since I was 19. It was given to me by my stepmom when I got my own apartment. Yeah, it's a beautiful shot.
I was thinking, because you had two of us on today, but next time I thought I would bring him if you have me
Oh,
back.
I wish you would have brought him this time.
And we do, and my joke is that Ty and I have better chemistry on radio or television than we do off. We really work well together is what I'm going for.
Oh, so
I feel like you're taking everything I say for bait. It's making me nervous. I forgot about the Americans. Not as fluent in sarcasm as I know
my
we'd
show
love to
isn't
meet
as
you.
crazy as his show. It's So you came here because you felt like you really had conquered Canada.
I
you
wanted
were on
to.
this
I
really
wanted to.
great big show that you did 1 million episodes of, called Paradise Falls.
Yes,
Now,
it's on Paradise Falls.
So the reason I have to look because I'm not a Canadian.
Of course not.
Tell us about Paradise Falls.
Oh
What
my
is
God,
it?
you guys would have loved it. We followed Queer as Folk on Canada's showcase.
Wait a second. I know what that show is because they had it on Showtime. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So now you have to know that comedy is pretty new to me. I've only been doing it for the last few years.
Oh, I did not know
full
that.
time. I tried it when I was first out of college. Didn't have a thick enough skin for it. Thought I don't need this bullshit. I've got TV and radio, and went back because I was terrified. And it's my first love and passion. And I think you always go back because I thought, why not live like a college student now? So
It's great to be in a condo, with men you don't know, just wondering whether you're going to be raped every night.
Absolutely. Well, I don't have to wonder. Wink.
She roofies herself, okay?
Constantly. So I did a lot of hosting in Canada. Was whether it was entertainment reporting or hosting various shows, and I was working for a big. I don't know how to this day I got away with this, but I was working for CTV, which is the big main network.
Oh, definitely.
And then I started to audition. I auditioned for Paradise Falls, and I got it. I think it was supposed to be 3 episodes, and it turned into 30 or something. And
What was that
It was
like?
for a competing network. It was a blast. It was
Because
like
it changed everything, I would assume, to be on television that much.
Well, I had already been. No, I was on television much more before that.
Oh, really?
Because this was on a cable. I was on sort of like Canada's NBC.
Oh, okay.
Nightly. So
As a host.
Yes.
And this
I was like
a-
the host for Entertainment Tonight in Canada. A
Oh,
show
okay,
called
cool.
E Now,
Okay.
E Talk. So yeah, and I'd done like a lot of Canadian shows, but this was my first acting. Really, I know. My husband keeps trying to find it, and I'm like, oh, so bad, Jason. And I got to work with a guy who I've just hooked up with again. Gary Hudson played my husband.
Oh, I know Gary.
He's so wonderful.
I love Gary.
Gary's the best. We just had Coffee Friday.
He's a wonderful, wonderful actor.
And,
so handsome.
Gary made me feel very comfortable because we ad-libbed the whole damn thing. And I was so much more comfortable with ad-libbing, because of comedy, and I love doing that and freestyling. So we played husband and wife. He wants me to do another sitcom with him because we had a blast. And we played the Americans, because a lot of, Goldie Hawn, Kurt Russell, they have cottages up in that area of Canada. So I was Rusty Sinclair. I had red hair, and I was always in a bikini. I
Yes.
never wore any clothes. In this film, right until December, they had to put ice cubes on our tongues because they can see my breath, and yet I'm still in less material than Carrot Top's act. I was always in a hot tub. I'm like, guys, it's freezing. Maybe Rusty just wears a sweatshirt today.
How did they keep you warm? I mean, literally,
They
there was
didn't.
no attempt.
Well, the minute they stop shooting, they give you a
Of
coat
course,
to
yeah.
wear.
And great cast,
And
great
then
crew.
apologize to you.
So much fun. A lot of it, yeah. And good old Canadian hooch.
So what's the difference between being a journalist or a host on television and being an actor in terms of fans? How do people react to you? Well, number one, you were dressed as a host and not as an actress.
Oh, well, I
They
mean, you
hadn't
can
seen your
imagine.
body before, I guess.
When I went into comedy, you can only imagine the nightmare that was like. Oh, the host of Entertainment Tonight. That
Oh,
ought to
yeah.
be a hoot
Yeah.
because they would. I mean, and it was so stiff, and they would cut out my ad libs, and you're reading a teleprompter. I had hair that could take a bullet. I'm not saying my hair's better now. Watch my. It's always crazy. Wearing pastel suits, and hi, I'm Carla Collins, and my co-host was, and I'm Dan Duran, and this is Entertainment Now. And I
Dan
hated
Duran
it.
and Collar. Oh God.
But Carla Collins is my real name. Now, I want to make sure, first of all, I know how lucky I was. Look, back then I was a baller. I had lots of money. People were lined up for this job. And my soul was slowly leaving my ass. I was in tears because I hated it.
Is it as bad as it is here? When all they want to talk about is like the Kardashians. And
Oh God, it was to me
bullshit like
horrible.
that,
I enjoyed the interview. Also, I don't give a rat's ass about celebrities. So the whole working the red carpet. For me, it was a night, and I saw more red carpets than Lindsay Lohan's girlfriend. I hated it. Personally. And, let's see if this works out. And I said, no, I'd really like to try comedy and acting and
were
get
you
away
able
from
to be
this.
funny on the red carpet? Would they let you? Or
Ish, I was constantly in trouble. I was
Really?
constantly in trouble. Yeah. Because, they would,
Were you
yeah.
almost always getting fired, Carla. I can see you
From the Weather Network
producer's
to that.
Carla
always that
Collins, and
borderline.
Dan Duran, and Edie Edwards, and Frank Furious, and
I know.
Gabby
I said,
Grubb.
dude, no one's going to believe this is my actual name. Because I would obviously go for something even cooler. I'd be Rachel Slur. But yeah, so then I decided this is what I love. I love writing and I love performing. And the acting was a blast. And they were, again, very patient. So I still feel like still working on it as an actress. I think.
Oh God, yeah,
Ty-
you're always.
I mean, but that's the one I'm least confident with.
As an actor?
Mhm.
Well, you should call me anytime you need some help.
I will. I know I have
because-
Gary Hudson and my husband coaching me, so I feel like
Oh,
I'm
so you got-
becoming better and better. But there's certain things you have. But the great thing is I used to be hosting first, and now I'm very comfortable as a comedian. So that's.
Isn't that interesting? Because for me, taking on a role was always easier, and I would just play and have fun. And it was always harder for me to play myself. Like in sketches where they just wanted me to come out and just be. It was always more difficult than being a character.
I've never played myself, honestly, in almost anything, except for Mentor.
Well,
That was the
also
only
that great
time.
episode of Entourage.
Yeah,
that
but
you
I didn't really
did.
play myself. I played a funny comedian who's gay, who's on,
Oh yeah, you're not funny.
You know what I mean? What I mean is,
I
it's
played
the more-
myself on Degrassi.
It's more the persona of that.
Yeah, exactly.
you know.
I mean, on Degrassi, I was myself because I was a morning talk show, radio
Everyone
host.
loves Degrassi.
Degrassi I was on during the Drake days, my friends.
Can
What's
I touch
up?
you?
Mic drop.
Oh
I
wait,
know.
you're on my show and
That's-
you're in my bed.
Yeah, but you're
God.
right. Jason's right. You're never yourself. You're a heightened version of
Let's
yourself.
talk more
right?
about acting and take a break, and we're going to be right back here with Carla Collins and Langdon
Basarge
on Absolutely Jason Stewart. Please stay with us. We'll be right back, and we're going to show your demos so they can see your work.
Yay.
And it's Mary Carey, of course, politically naughty with Mary Carey.
I'm always naughty. I'm always politically. My behavior is always politically
naughty.
I'm never politically correct.
Dr.
Drew, hi. Oh, I'm so.
Hey guys, how are you?
It's all teary-eyed, Doctor.
I know. She wished she could live at rehab.
But only if Dr. Drew's there. Obviously,
Sure.
if someone like, because a little groping might be inappropriate. But I like the flirting and stuff.
When I walked in,
don't
you
know.
shoved my head in your.
No! Are you gonna sue me?
Get politically naughty with Mary Carey. Mondays at 4 p.m. on T-Radio V.
Grant, I'm Grant Reynolds. I don't know what to do with my hands.
I mean, this is pretty much just like the same thing. Oh, wait, this is.
No one wants to see her ninny goats.
Like a bear. He's like a big bear, isn't he?
Like, yeah.
Let me
Hold on, we'll start.
If you don't like the right pizza, go yourself.
You never know who's shun.
absolutely
I think
Jason
that my show
Stewart.
is better than yours. Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
The only thing that masks alcohol while you're driving is peanuts.
Have lots of when you're drinking.
Wouldn't be the first time Langdon had Skippy in his mouth.
Isn't that your dog? T-Radio V.
Get in the car. Throw another log on the fire. It's not hot enough back here.
T-Radio V. Radio and TV.
Ay, ay, ay!
Engaging interviews with intriguing public figures.
Informed analysis of the week's most important news.
The world's best bands.
Langdon Nation, saving the world one dirty joke at a time. Saturdays from 1 to 3, exclusively on T-Radio V.
Oh my God, I'm only gay for pay.
Welcome back to Absolutely Jason Stewart, and that was just a preview for Langdon's Nation, Langdon's Nation, meaning his show, which is Langdon's Nation of Langdon's Nation, which is on Saturdays at 2 p.m.
Yeah, Saturdays 2 p.m. right here on T-Radio V. Everything goes into the archive, though. Our shows from here and our shows from KCAA. So at langdonnation.com, you can see the videos from T-Radio V, or you can listen to MP3s, and we try to do like little behind-the-scenes stories and behind-the-scenes pictures and links for everybody. So it's a fun place to go, langdonnation.com.
We were just talking to Carla. We were talking to her in the break, trying not to speak because we're all friends and we all know each other, just about the things that are fears for us. Yeah. For me, everything is a fear for me. So it doesn't matter what it is or what I'm doing. What would really be great is I sit in my house, I watch the shows and the movies I want to watch, I eat and I throw up, and that's what that's what makes me feel comfortable.
If you weren't gay, we should really be a couple. I feel like that we're very similar.
Yeah, that would be exactly who we were. But even when I went to go do Birth of a Nation, I'm playing a character that's completely different than who I am, and thinking, how am I going to pull this off? How did this happen? What did I do? And I think I had in my mind, I went there 5 days early. I had a friend that lived in Jacksonville, Florida, a producer named Jerry Rosenberg, a great guy, and I stayed with him, and I let the production company know that I was there to do a table read if they needed. I was there to meet with the director if he wanted to. And for those at home, a table read is when all the actors get together and you read the script and through, which really would have been wonderful, but it didn't have. It's hard on movies because everybody doesn't come at the same time. Oh God!
Oh, so much.
Good night, everybody.
Too easy.
And I actually met with the director for an hour, and I drove all the way to Savannah from Jacksonville, which is an hour and 45 minutes. And I have to say that was like, because I met him, we had a first date. It's each other.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you can breathe. People don't realize sometimes they will throw you onto a set.
You've never met anyone. You haven't met the director.
And all of a sudden, because the producer hires you. And it's fairly frightening sometimes. And sometimes it's completely easy. Like this part was 7 scenes, and I did one episode of Sleepy Hollow and never met anybody. It was 100, and I did one scene. It was 100 times harder.
Of course.
Because you didn't meet anybody, and everybody was rush, and get it in, get it out, and it's all completely different,
Which I think is kind of the magic of it, too, that it's always completely different, but it keeps the fear up. I mean, that's what prevented me from doing stand-up, because I would just shake like a chihuahua on meth, and I would stop eating days before the show, which leads me to believe that I might tip the scales at about 400 soon, because I'm pretty comfortable with it. That could have been like the diet that was keeping me fairly slim. And then, it's a matter of doing things more and more, as you know, and getting more comfortable. And although I also have to say, my mom passed away this year and a few other things. Now I just don't really give a shit. And that helps. That helps tremendously.
So basically, we need to have a parent's pass, and then you can be a good comic.
Well, whatever
Same
it
thing
is
happened
for
to
you.
me. My dad was
Whatever
3 years
happens to be
ago,
for you.
So
Yeah.
we should, my dad passed 3 years ago, and your dad, I know, recently.
A year ago today, actually.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
It hit me earlier this week, and I was thinking, oh my God, how am I going to do this?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Just because, are you a date guy? See, I don't care about dates and stuff. To me, it's just, some people are like, oh my God, this is the date that this happened.
I have to think about it.
I don't do the dates.
I think because I've had so many patients, like the year anniversary is usually a big deal. And so the first Christmas, the first holiday, the first, if it's a father or mother, that first Father's Day, Mother's Day. So it was my, it's kind of in me to know that year is a big deal for my patients. And then,
so you take it on. Like I saw Bad Jews last night at the Geffen. This is here in Westwood, California, for those listening someplace else. And if you've not seen, I don't know if it's playing in New York still, but it is one of the most brilliant plays I've ever seen, because it's exactly how I grew up. And for some reason, I just laughed louder than I've ever laughed recently, and cried so hard I could barely breathe sometimes, because it's about these three cousins. 2 are brothers, and one is a cousin from the other parent. Other brother, and the death of a grandfather, and how they're all thrown together in this one apartment, and how they want this piece of jewelry because of what it means to them. And it seems crazy, but it's about, and then one brings his non-Jewish fiance, and she says something that just totally blew me away. She says, how can you guys talk to each other like this? And it was exactly the way I grew up, and I learned, by watching the plays, is how can people talk to each other like that? How can people treat each other a certain way, stop communication, cut things off, and not be respectful and kind to each other?
Yeah, family dramas. The
or
people
even,
that love us the most can hurt us the most sometimes.
Of course.
Yeah,
because they're the only ones who have the power to. If you don't really care about someone,
right? If you don't give a damn,
them cutting you off is like, awesome. Oh, you unfriended me. I hope I get over it.
Well, the worst thing to do, I think, for a friend or a family member is for someone not to be in communication with you, and not to have the decency or the kindness or the generosity to do that, even if it's uncomfortable for a moment.
Well, because people keep saying the opposite of love is hate, and it's not, because they're very close side by side. Hate has a lot of passion, takes a lot of your energy and time. The opposite of love, to me, is indifference.
I
yes,
agree.
I think so too, because in people who are not unwilling,
you
for
don't
me,
matter.
I'm willing to go down a street, and if we're uncomfortable for a minute, we're uncomfortable,
Mhm.
but still be nice to each other.
Of course.
And not and have respect.
Well,
It's
hell yeah,
about
you can
respect.
argue and you can fight, but fight fair. Do it
or you
fairly.
don't even have to argue about it. You can just say, "Hey, this is how it looked to me. This is how it looked to me. This is how I'm feeling. This is how I'm feeling." Some people in my family, oh my God! And when somebody does that to me, and the play was all about that, I was like tears, and I'm just going, "Why am I?" And also losing a parent.
Yeah. We're all in the same club.
Yeah.
All three of us.
Once you lose a parent, it changes everything. And I know what you're saying about the fear in your work as an artist. I mean, I know that for me, and I say this on the air, is that if I did not have my dad, I would not have been able to be an artist. I mean, my father gave me the opportunity, not by words but by actions. And, by doing everything that he could to give me the life that I gave so I could go, do something and have a choice.
We were really lucky. I think all three. That's why there's the pain and the unbearable grief, is because we had awesome parents too.
Well, tell about your mom too, because your mom was amazing, and your mom would listen. Her mom would come to her comedy shows, which I think is amazing. Her mom would participate. Her mom would heckle her. But
my mom too.
Open for me.
My mom. Somebody said, "Do you know this woman from the bank once at the Laugh Factory?" I'll never forget it. She said, "Do you know?" I said, "Never before. Never met her in my life." I walked her out.
I was doing a joke about the Pope, which was, of course, horrifying my Catholic mother, and she walked in, and I heard the Carla Marie from the back, and I said, "I think it's kind of on you." rhythm method, baby. You wouldn't have to deal with any of this
All
if
your
it
fault.
wasn't for. But yeah, she was a goddess. I used to say that she was my best feature. Now I have to go with my eyes. They're doe-like. So my and that's why I did the whole 50 Shades of Grief. Like the comedy I'm doing right now is a show very much. It's a tribute to her, but it's not me working out my stuff. Like, it's hilarious, and you saw the beginnings of it, and now it's really
awesome.
evolved.
I saw her just workshopping it. She just toured all of Canada with this. It's an amazing, wonderful show, and I honestly think Carla, and I have said this on air, I think she's the funniest person I know. Not the funniest comic, not the funniest woman. She's the funniest person I know.
Jake, get him off my show. Get him off now! Shut his mic off!
I just love that you didn't say female comic. I like when the female.
Well, because the gays always like the women better. It's because they hate themselves.
Well,
anyway,
also, have you seen her boobies and her legs? I'm sorry. She's
I
beautiful.
don't want to see her boobies in her legs.
No,
we've been
even
through
as
this.
a
We've
gay?
been through this on your show. He just slammed me the whole time. I was shocked when he put me in one of his shows. I'm like, God, that guy was. He was not throwing. He was not picking up anything I was throwing down.
Was I difficult? No.
Well, I was being sweet, and I kind of have this Canadian in me that's like, I said, too bad because we should be married, and because I thought you were great.
And you were like, no.
Ew, honey, I'm sorry, gross, not with that.
I wouldn't say no. I would have said.
So I think there's this point in Langdon show where I just said, yeah, a lot of these are jokes, because I was like, okay, look.
No, but I always.
Sammy, I'm not going to take any of this crap anymore.
I always say to any straight girl that I say to that's over 30 years old, I say, honey, look, this is the deal. I don't want to go shopping with you. I don't want to hold your purse. That's not me. I'm not that kind of gay.
I don't shop, and I don't have a purse for you to hold. I have a midget in this. There's no way. That's how I do my upper body strength. It's just my purse. So
that's luggage.
But yeah, it is. It's some of my emotional baggage, but manifested.
No, that's much bigger. Mine is like big Louis Vuitton
But I was being
cases.
funny too. That was me
bin.
being funny. That was me being funny. Mine is sort of hitting it hard. Yeah, I guess so.
That's I like being hit hard. I can take it. I can take it now. A few years ago, I would have wept and been in the fetal position by Langdon's feet. But now it's like, all right, let's go. Let's do this.
Doesn't Tyrone have a gay brother or cousin or someone?
Everybody
keep asking
hopes.
her the same thing.
Well, the whole rumor is that his father swang both ways.
Was it true?
Is it swang or swung?
Swung?
I'm held up on the grammar.
Swinged.
Well, his father died before Ty was born, so it's
So there's
hard
the rumor.
to know.
I mean, a lot of times people were just very experimental in those days, and a lot of times.
Yeah, Errol Flynn, and that was that whole gang. Like they were anything with a pulse. They were pansexual.
Right, but it wasn't because homosexuality was not a lifestyle. It was just a proclivity that someone might like
Something
to do.
you might do from time to time.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, like
hope
when I
it's
have
true.
4 or 5 margaritas, of course I'm deep tonguing my best girlfriend.
Well, that's
but
not
that's
fair.
what Martha
all
Stewart
girls
wants.
get to do that.
We
girls
do- yeah, I
get to
suppose.
make out with
They
each
don't
other.
all do. They don't all do it.
No,
I literally sat.
I've never been with a
true
woman
story.
sexually.
I sat
You
in the
haven't?
gym just
I've
the
made out
other
with a couple.
day, listening to these 2 girls in front of us talk about each of them making out with other girls. They're UCLA students. They were probably in
Of
their
course.
early 20s, talking about it like it was nothing. And then they're both going after the gym. I was in the sauna. After they left the sauna, they were both going to lunch with their boyfriends.
Because their boyfriends love it, especially if one of the chicks they're making out with is Asian.
All right, this
I'm only
is
speaking about my husband.
way too lesbian. We'll be back in just a second on Absolutely Jason Stewart with my guests Carla Collins and Langdon
Basarge.
Yes, we'll be back in just a second.
Can I say your last name too?
All right, serious business.
Okay,
here.
ready, guys?
Serious business. Radio voice, everybody. Okay, here we go.
Let's just play. We should put music on and just dance for a minute.
Wait. I have to stop and say one thing. I have to say 2 words.
Hey.
So join us and the rest of the T-Radio beat.
Ready? Are we on? Give me some music. Watch this. Ready?
Wait, are we rolling? No.
Oh, is this real? Like, I was just totally kidding.
Oh, let's start again. Say that. Okay, start again.
Keep going.
I could do real jazz.
Do jazz hands.
That was a stick. I was doing a stick.
Well,
the
it
hair
didn't-
is blonde. It's dye.
the roots
Just
are
because you
short.
don't have any hair and he doesn't have any hair and I have all this fake hair.
Start again.
Fine.
How's the hair and the?
I feel like I'm in a puzzle.
Any show you can have, I can have better.
Any show you can have, I can have better.
Are we filming all this? Yep. That's awesome. This is the good stuff. You're short and you know it. I know it was a lot of hodgepodge, but that's good, right?
Yeah,
hodgepodge is good to cut.
Let's do the intro one more time. Menopause.
Andy D on T-Radio V. Bing, bang, bing, boom, right?
Yeah.
Andy D on T-Radio V. Bobbity, bibbity, bobbity, boo. Andy D on T-Radio V. The Andy Dick Show, Wednesdays from 4 to 6 p.m. on T-Radio V.
White women don't recognize a red flag till it's being dipped in chloroform. Placed over our heads. And we're being thrown into a windowless van. I am a former model, glue sniffer, and they are so happy with this Pope that the Catholics have, I don't know if you've seen the commercial. He once won a gold medal in the Olympics in a luge made entirely out of rosary beads. When he's home alone at the Vatican, he wears only gaucho pants. Young boys try to molest him. He is the most interesting Pope in the world. Stay Catholic, my friends. Oh. You know what I mean. I don't know if you have any people from France here wandering around in Los Angeles, but it's very easy to recognize because they're chain smoking, they're in lingerie, high heels, and it's February. They're just like, I'm so skinny. I almost fell over because I'm so skinny. I'm so skinny. Be careful, do not go down on me, you'll get a paper cut. I'm so skinny. I don't know what to do around young guys. I just get all nervous and I'm not really sure what to say to them. I'm just like, I got your nose. Is that? There is a man breaking into people's homes here in LA and forcing women to cook at gunpoint. I was watching the news and I was just like, I'd rather be raped. I mean, listen, yeah, somebody go and get pregnant tonight. But I think kids like me because I think I sort of look like a live action version of Barbie. From a distance, right? You would all right, well, like a Barbie where there's a little something off about her, you know? Maybe a Barbie you'd find at Ross or at the dollar store, Dude, seriously, man, does that Barbie have a black eye? I've got to play to the kids, right? And I'm just sort of panicked, so I just started dancing around a lot, what did the fox say? Ding, 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 ding. It's like, guys, stop shoving your baby into my arms. Do you know how often I drop my iPhone?
Yay!
That was terrific.
Ooh, thank you.
That Barbie joke, I wanted to do I think I did a hashtag temporarily for you. I did Rehab Barbie.
Rehab Barbie.
And I think I heckled you one night.
We will be doing a show together at the Long Beach Laugh Factory called Jason Stuart and Friends with a lot of other wonderful gay and lesbian comedians and a token straight girl.
I love being the token
July
straight.
29th. I believe. And if you forget that, just go to jasonstewart.com, STUART. So what's up next for you? Tell me what's next.
Well, I'm actually, the flip side of that is I'm going to be headlining at Toronto's Pride.
Wow.
For the first time. A show called Bitch Salad. I'm very excited. So that's at the end of June. I know. I'd love you to, and they'd love you there. And Toronto's a great city for comedy.
Yeah, I've done their Montreal Comedy Festival twice, and I've also done the ski resort, Whipple, or it's something, Winnipeg.
Where is it?
It's
in
Canada.
In Banff?
Canada's kind of big.
Yeah.
I forgot the name
After
of it.
Russia, second biggest.
I did Yuck Yucks a couple times.
Yeah.
with crazy Mark Breslin.
Mark and his wife are good friends of mine.
I still think Mark and his wife. That part I don't get.
I know.
Yeah, everybody
And a
thinks he's-
baby too. Well, now like 3 or 4 years old.
Everybody thinks that he thought that he was gay for the longest time.
But then if you
he's
paid
obviously
close
not.
attention to his suits, you knew he wasn't.
Yes.
I love that you got that right away. It's like, come on,
Oh,
no
God, the clothes were
self-respecting.
terrible.
Yeah.
But he was always really nice to me. But when he got on stage, I'd never seen anything like that in my entire life.
Look, I like dark humor because it's slimming, but Mark at the time was. And see, I didn't grow up through the Yuck Yucks ranks. So I didn't and last year
Well,
I
they
did
were gone, weren't they, by the time?
Oh no, the Yucks are that's still Canada's main. I mean, I did some touring last year. I went to Newfoundland and out east for Mark, but I knew him from being on television, and we were friends, and I was very close with his fiancée, now wife. So when I was touring, I said, now I know what everybody was complaining about. You're an ass. These are horrible conditions. But he's a very intelligent
Has
man.
anybody listened to Amy Schumer? She did a talk radio thing and talked about what it was like for comedians on the road. And there was a specific theater or club that she worked at in New Jersey. And she talked about how terrible they were to comedians and how that you should be nicer to us. Because what is it? Did you ever tour the road? Where you were never
God.
And I don't do much of it, so.
I did it for 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 20 years. And I still occasionally will go out, but for short times. But I mean, I toured for actually 20 years.
That's
so I was in the comedy
incredible.
condos and the terrible hotels and the driving and them forgetting about you and is there PR this week? And oh God, there was no PR and you didn't sell tickets. What happened? I mean, it was comedy, certainly a straight boys club. And the one thing I guess I do feel
Straight white boys club off.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
But still straight boys, because now the black comedians and the Latin comedians have been able to really make a headway there in the cause, but it's still, that's about it. I mean, you know.
Yeah, it hasn't budged a lot. That needle hasn't moved as much as you'd like and as much as you'd think.
It's the only profession where you make less money now than you did 20 years ago.
It's crazy. Well, I did Utah. I did Park City, which I really enjoyed.
Where did you work?
At the Egyptian Theater.
Wow.
For 2 nights. I know I sort of try and pick and choose the ones that seem delightful to me. And that was interesting because I thought, okay, let's see how it goes in Utah. And that's the other thing you can never predict. I sold out of CDs. I killed both nights, and then I can go somewhere in Canada. They're like, I was in London, Ontario, where I went to school, by the way. I went to university there.
And that was a long time ago. If there's anybody left.
Oh, see, this is what I'm saying. Ew. Now, it's more of an ew than an ouch. Because ouch is like, it's typical.
Hi,
Don't go for the easy
I went to
stuff.
school there, and they're all supposed to come.
Well, I was going to finish my thesis as no, because school's out. It was just last week, so no, there were no. But being on campus, I didn't know about the rest of London just being so white and uptight. And I looked at it was just a sea of gray hairs, and literally I had a couple of my gays at intermission hearing women saying, I just don't know why she has to talk about sex. I mean, she's pretty enough. She doesn't need that part. Oh my God. Ew. And kill themselves when
She's
the dudes
pretty
were
enough.
talking.
She doesn't need that
And
part.
then when they said, I don't know, where's her husband, for the love of God? Where is he during all these shenanigans? But love the 2 guys talking about. And,
Where's her?
Okay.
I love that. Where's her husband?
Where's my husband?
What is this, 1953?
Bitch got off her leash and ran 3. There was no more invisible fence, so I got out. I know, it was just, I thought.
That sounds like the 50s.
Let me look at my Gregorian calendar and see where we're at.
I know,
so
time
it's still,
machine.
That was weird because I thought, it's still
Sometimes
still
you
an
think
issue.
it's going, you think it's going, and then it turns, So
Yeah.
again, we can catch, what's your website?
LangdonNation.com.
Very easy, LANGDON, nation.com, very simple. And Carla Collins, how did you get CarlaCollins.com?
For the longest time, I only had CarlaCollins.ca, which was the Canadian one, because this dude was holding mine hostage and wanted ridiculous amounts of money. And then he lapsed. I don't know. He had a weak moment, and my web boys were like, it's available. Get it. This was like 2008 or 9. I said, okay, jump all over it.
Because there's
We
people
did.
that do that, yeah. So I thank you so much both for being on the show. I just adore you both. I really do.
Oh,
You've been such
I
a
love
sweet
you.
man to me, and it's just, I'm so happy you're here. I feel like I have a brand new friend.
You do. We're going to have lunch and a show together. A lot of stuff's going to happen.
I hope so.
And a baby.
Not sexual stuff. I can't. He's going to say something mean again, please.
I can't have kids. I have nice furniture. Anyway, please stay with us, and there's more shows to come, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Take care,
you,
everybody.
Jason.
Thanks,
Thank you for being on the
Jason.
show.